In the centre of these gunmen is the head of the brutal insurgency in southern Afghanistan. This is Mansour Dadullah, the face of hostage negotiation here. In this exclusive interview, filmed in an undisclosed location, he answers questions from Channel 4 News, providing a chilling insight into the ruthless, extremist heart of the insurgency.
The main goal of our jihad and resistance is to implement the law of Allah and to fight against the infidels all over the world and implement one religion across the world.
He's leading insurgents that target British troops. And after the recent failed terror attacks in Britain, he said a spectacular one would soon succeed. But Dadullah also knows the hostage game well. 4 months ago, he was in jail and his brother Mullah Dadullah was commander in the south. They'd captured an Italian journalist, filming him on his knees here in the grey, between two Afghan colleagues who were later beheaded. Desperate, the Italian and Afghan government struck a deal, swapping this journalist for 5 high-value Taliban prisoners, including Mansour Dadullah. They said it was a one-off, but the message to the Taliban was, as Dadullah explains, very clear.
To be honest, my release was a bit of a surprise for me. Of course, kidnapping is a very successful policy, and I order all my mujahideen to kidnap foreigners of any nationality, wherever they may find them. And then, you should do the same kind of deals.
He wasn't the only one surprised.
NATO said all along, we will not negotiate with people who are taking hostages. It is in nobody's interest to do that. Just as you're saying, the long-term negative effects are much worse than any good that you can get out of a hostage negotiation.
It's a deal that soon went even more sour. In May, NATO caught up with Mullah Dadullah, his one-legged body displayed as a coalition triumph. So Mansour, his brother, took over running the insurgency, saying he has 120 lieutenants. Their tactics particularly inhumane. This 6-year-old sent by the Taliban to suicide bomb a police station.
Yes, we want to give children a military education. We want to train them against cruel invaders and infidels. So if we need them, they will join this struggle. We want to use children to behead infidels and spies, so they will become brave.
He flaunts his al-Qaeda links, saying Osama bin Laden wrote to him by letter in the last 2 months mourning his brother's death.
Between us and Sheikh Osama, we don't keep count of weapons, money or anything. Our aim is the same. We help them and they help us.
An admission that could accentuate apparent splits in the Taliban between the local insurgency and international jihad. America has linked the Taliban to another key enemy, Iran. But he says Iran's not arming his men now, although he'd like them to.
No, we haven't received help from Iran so far, but if offered, we would take it. In fact, against these cruel traitors and occupiers, we'll accept help from anyone.
The interview took place near the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, near Pakistan's lawless tribal areas, seen as an al-Qaeda stronghold. They're widely thought to be a bolt hole for Taliban leadership. Not true, says Dadullah, grinning.
No, this is lies. The headquarters of our leadership is not in the tribal areas, it's in Afghanistan. You know, in Afghanistan we have 8 districts in Helmand province under our control.
Over 3,000 British troops based there will take issue with that claim. They had been braced for a massive summer offensive by the Taliban. They're still waiting for it to happen, but still taking casualties. 6 dead in the last 2 months. But Dadullah says the offensive has started.
The offensive is going on as predicted. Inside their heads, the coalition feels fear about it. But unfortunately, the media does not report our operation to the world each day.
He said he'll never negotiate with the Americans, and they would only talk to the Afghan government of President Karzai if he became independent from Washington. No negotiations, that is, unless it's a chance for the Taliban to strike a good deal over hostages.